Welcome back to our third part of understanding epilepsy. Today, I want to take you through what you should all know. This presentation is for a layman, like I've said. I'm just presenting this to you so that in case you encounter anyone having a seizure or a convulsion, you can always help. So don't hesitate to listen to the end. Very many good things at the end, so don't stop in the middle. If you haven't subscribed at Life with Nurse Carol, this would be the time. If you haven't shared with anyone about my videos, this would be the time. If you have a comment to give, please put it in the comment section below. Thank you for listening and thank you for sticking by. So who should know this information about epilepsy? I've highlighted anyone with a good heart because as you move around the world, you find people convulsing in a taxi, on the roadside, anywhere. And it only takes a good heart for someone to intervene and help that person. Every parent needs to know this. Anyone working in a school, don't stop in the middle. Anyone working in a hospital, I know the health workers are more trained with advanced knowledge on how to approach these situations, but if you haven't yet fastened up, this will be the time to watch this. If you're working with children at any level, either you're a maid or you're just taking care of children, please listen to this. If you're in charge of elderly people, be it your grandmother, be it just being paid to take care of them, this is very important to you too. So don't hesitate to watch up to the end. You should know that epilepsy is not contagious. When they get their attacks or convulsive episodes, you run away because you were told that when you get in touch with the saliva or the urine of someone convulsing, you're also going to get it. It's not true. However, you also need to know that different types of epilepsy. Epilepsy presents very differently for different people because there are quite a number of types. You also need to know the basic intervention. What can you do within your means if you're not a health worker? You also need to know how epilepsy is affecting this person. Before you go ahead to judge them, to call them names, to embarrass them, you need to understand how do they feel about having epilepsy. It's important for all of us to understand what triggers these seizures. Most of them have triggers. Trigger is something that would fasten them having an attack in case they are exposed to it. One is stress. People have reported that in case they are extremely stressed, they are at a higher risk of experiencing seizures than when they are not. Trauma. This can be physical or it can be psychological. Overexertion, especially during exercise and menstrual periods. Many people have reported that periods put them in excessive stress. Pregnancy, this is a stressing period. Don't underestimate it. Sleep deprivation, because during sleep, parts of your brains rest, whereas others keep working, part of it rests. But if you don't sleep enough, you're literally keeping it excited all the time. Electrolyte imbalance. Like I said, these are salts in the body that keep us in check. And any other time you compromise yourself, be sure that you have to monitor your nutrition. You have to monitor your input and output. Ensure that you're not dehydrated in any way because this will compromise your electrolyte balance. Illness can be any kind of infection, viral, fungal, bacterial, so you need to monitor that. Overstimulation of senses like strong lights, sounds, and smell. I know those that are movie fans, you realize that before they start airing a movie that has a lot of flashes, they'll warn that if you're an epileptic person, this is not recommended because stimulation has a way of triggering people with epilepsy. It can be strong light, it can be strong smells, it can be strong sounds. So for people with epilepsy, you need to know what they can accommodate and what they can't accommodate. Under medication, we say that medication is the bulletproof here. You will not get better unless you start your medication if you've been prescribed some, so that you either reduce on the number of episodes that you're having or you get total remission. Okay, so don't undermine the prescription that you've been given. Recreational drugs and alcohol, these are stimulants. Watch out. If you have this patient, you need to understand them and know what exactly triggers their episodes.